This is a battle with swords, not some fist fight. As long as one of us is still breathing, then this fight's not over.
So the top fights for today, starting from the morning till the evening, we were up against the incredible power of SSI from the moment we entered Archipelago Raid, Chungha, whatever you wanna call it. I do not know the correct pronunciation. And then we had Mr. Jinzo. They were constantly raiding the areas of different alliance. So for anyone who knows, these are the two strongest players in the game. Chungha is using the account of Pooh, the old leader of ROK, and Jinzo is basically the account of Boogeyman, but he has been using it for a, a lot many months now. So this is not a new account. So basically, these two are one of the strongest players in the game. Both have a kill score of over 3 billion kill points, which is unbelievable because some people are unable to hit a couple of million kill points. So to compare these two guys, they are literal monsters. And for whoever remembers, Pooh was probably the strongest player in the game, alongside Hans, Coco Bongo, Save Me, and these were the top players. Boogeyman also. So if I had to make a list of top five, these were my top five players. And if I have to particularly talk about these fights, they were very painful. Like you had to fight these guys, and then you had to heal, and for healing it was a lot of resources that were being consumed. Of course healing bots come in handy, but for healing constantly you need to have resources, right? So on the bottom side, SSI had their friends from region 116 IC8, and IC8 were they have basically built up to the far right side of their what I want to say is that checkpoint 4, and they are basically threatening the base of our legion checkpoint 5. So they have projected themselves in such a manner that they can affect our checkpoint 5 in the longer run, but of course we have to address it. But complete day IC8 and the blue legion and the R legion, they were constantly fighting on this area because they kept on raiding near our area, and then people would go out and fight them. I personally do not understand what was the reason for these fights. Like, understand my point of view. You're not fighting for any objective, you're not fighting for the cement. The only thing that you are fighting for is the points. So basically you are using your resources, you are using your speed ups unnecessarily, because the main fight is yet to come, and it is the day one of Archipelago Raid. Eventually you will get points, you will get the chances, so why are you wasting so many resources and everything on day one? So yeah, whatever. And IC8 is quite strong. I have said it in a few videos before as well that I have covered. And IC8 were, along with IWRI, they were quite, like, what I want to say is that they were using their mind quite well. Like, they were able to basically draw our legion constantly into fights into their territory near the checkpoint 4, which is quite stupid actually. You do not need to go into their territory and fight under their buffs. So this was something that they were able to constantly do. They kept poking at the back line, and then they would draw out all the squads and go near the checkpoint 4. And once the legion of ours they started to retreat, then they would start hurting them down. So on the run, you lose a lot more troops as compared to when you are standing and fighting. So as the game moved into the midday, Changha, Jinzo, later on Ash. Ash also joined up with them. So Ash is another extremely strong player who is a part of SSI. Like, I mean, they have a lot of strong players, a lot of strong whales. If they had to compete with each other, then they would give a tough time to each other as well. So different times, different people joined together to fight these guys off the property, off the land, because they kept on raiding, creating nuisance, creating problems, and they were overall a constant menace to the overall gameplay. Like they were trying to affect the tower building, they were trying to intercept the squads, and then people would join up and gang up on them, and then a little bit later on they would come again and start causing problems again. Like here you can see now Ash is here, Chunga is there, Jinzo is there. So one of the strongest field battle team with just 3 players. And then you had Watson, you had Oli, you had the DMG, MVP trying to counter them, trying to throw them off the position. A lot of interesting squads have been used. Louis Lead with the skin, it is really strong. It deals area of effect damage, so it makes him even stronger. And then Bella Elana, Felix with Ilana, then Mai Shiranui with Bella. A lot of interesting pairs. Then we could also see Raigoro being used in the field with Riven. Marco, obviously, is another hero that is really being liked by the top players, by the whales, thanks to his lot of debuffs and the buffs that he gives during the fights. And by God, I have been hit by Ash's riders, and it is not good. Like once he hits you, your hospital it fills up faster before you can finish your P. That is how strong this guy is. The same goes for Genzo. Like they hit quite hard. For even someone with the 4 million or maybe 3 million, my troops, these guys affect them even a lot. So to counter them, you need to swarm them, and it seems like an NTP is ongoing when you start fighting these guys. They are unbelievably strong. Like even an ant, when you swarm it down, you can deal damage to it. But these guys, once you swarm them, it seems like you are hurting yourself. Instead of them being hurt, it seems like your own bones are getting broken apart. I believe I have a couple of fractures on my squads. Most likely, my Adat, she will be wearing some kind of eye patch soon. I believe her eye is damaged. That is how badly she got hit in one of the battles. And look at this guy. Is Riven. I think this is with Bianca. And even Rider heroes are unable to chase this guy. So some of these guys are incredibly strong with the great armaments. So yeah, this was about the fights. So even just to throw them off our land, it took more than 4 minutes. The fight that is taking place between HNB and then you on the other side we have SSI. My God, these guys are like super strong. I do not need to introduce any player from either side. These guys hit hard, they hit strong, and they damage you a lot. So right now SSI is here to invade the side of HNB and secure the cement. On the top side we have, oh, get back, you stupid, get back. Like it is too laggy, unbelievable. If I play on low, then it is difficult to hit someone, but if I go on high, it is quite easy to spot the squad that I want to hit actually. Right here you can see all my squads will eventually die. I do not mind that, but I want to do some damage before I die. So the account is for sale. IGG, you should take note. Wipe out people selling their accounts. Oh yo, what the hell is happening? Okay, actually, I'm hitting someone. So Chunga is there, Jinzo is there, a lot of strong players. Unbelievable. Just one skill shot, and my heroes they lost a lot of HP. Actually, I can stream with optimize off, but I do not want to because I do not know where my heroes are. So in order to move back, look at this. Oh my dear God. Have you ever seen such a big fight? It's like ants and elephants. They are on the same battlefield, but unfortunately, the ants are the size of the elephants. Look at this shit. Can't even move my hero, right? It is better they actually die so I can keep on. Look at that. 50% just from. I think I must have taken a couple of hits and that's it. Oh no, no, no. Get back, get back, get back. Go here. Okay, rather let them die so I can easily record this and stream this. Look at this unbelievable fight. These guys are insane. Like 50%, 65%, 80% in a couple of hits. So this is why SSI is currently one of the best teams in the game. They spank you and they spank you so hard you cannot even rub the position where you got spanked. So this is how it is. This is how the game is, and this is how the developers have turned the game into like free to play players and semi free to play players. They cannot match up to the spenders. Like there are so many spending events right now in the game. The gap between the smaller players and the larger players, it is unbelievable. And if they keep this up, believe me, if they keep this up, like if you do not allow the space for the weaker players to grow, eventually you will only be left with people who are wanting to spend. And if you will be left with people who only want to spend, then you will not have a game to play. So if you want to keep on losing your player base, if you want people to keep quitting, then the model that you have adopted is 100% gonna take you down. This is just my thought. Because to be very honest, very very honest, I if I'm new to any game, like I'm 100 million might, maybe 10 million might, or 1 million might, I do not want the highest, like the strong players, to be near me in that server. But unfortunately for this game, the moment you join a new server and after a couple of days, you will have a T6 in your server, and then there is nothing you can do about it. And with this migration event, people can move from one alliance to another. So yeah, basically SSI, they themselves are quite strong. This is there is no doubt about that. And then they were gifted a very very great, I would say. If you go to the battle overview, okay, I do not need to go to the battle overview. Let's just show you. So in blue they have IC8, who recently were the allies of SSI in the last Genesis war, and now this time again they are in the same map. Like here you can see SSI is their cross server allies. And if you go to the SSI, who themselves are unbelievably strong at 36 million, so they also have IC8 listed as one of their allies. So what kind of matchmaking is this? Now, if you look at the allies of SSI, then they have Nera, who are a very strong team. And if you look at the allies of IC8, then you have quite decent pairs of FLWS, who are from region 245, and a very strong team as well, who themselves can hold up against a couple of strong teams. Like they can put up a fight, no doubt about that. And then they have IWRI, who are another strong team. So what kind of matchmaking is this? And on this side, you only have two allies, LM4S and then HNB. If you go to WAT, apart from one player, I think she's 300 million might, and the second player is 268 million might. You do not have any other player who can hold up his own in the top servers or even against SSI. If I have to talk about myself, then I am also another weak player who can barely do anything on these top servers. So these guys are actually quite crazy. At HNB, we never give up and we perform our best when we are having our backs to the wall. Right now, our backs to the wall. We take back what is ours. We are like the gladiators in Rome. We're gonna take back what they took from us. No way they are gonna leave this place just like that. So a lot of fight back. A lot of players showed up, and before that, they struck us from both sides, IC8 and SSI, and now it is our time to shine. But obviously, this particular map is quite tipped in the favor of SSI. In all honesty, they're a super mega alliance who have merged a lot of players from different alliances. It is, I think, more than 8 or 10 alliances who have joined together to form this awesome set of team. So yeah, they get a piece of what they give. If Crimson had showed up, actually, things would have been different. Like 2 versus 1 was difficult. So Whiskey is here now. He's leading from the front now. But the numbers, SSI fighting two huge numbers. And once their murder ball that gets rolling, it becomes really difficult to fight them. It's quite unbelievable. Anyone who is having anything less than T6, who is having armaments anything below 3 million on all their squads, and minimum minimum should be 5, I think, on vehicle, and preferably it should be above 10. This is the bare minimum I would recommend anyone who wants to fight in these top islands. If you do not have that, do not even think of joining these fights. It is just too difficult. Your hospitals will fill up really fast. You will lose your troops, you will lose your squads, you will lose a lot of resources actually. You will farm, you'll fight them, they will spank you hard, you will go back to your bases, then you will heal up, then you will come back, and they will repeat. So this process will keep on repeating if you keep on joining these fights with these basic requirements. You need to have these basic requirements, otherwise it is impossible. Simply impossible to fight in these islands. The biggest and the strongest part, I would say, of SSI is their field presence. I think probably ROK is the only alliance that can match it right now in the current scenario with all the players they have assembled, they have taken in with Jinzo, Changha. Then you have Gom, I think. You have Ace himself. Then you have that guy from 120 region, I believe. What was his name? I'm forgetting. A lot of players. A lot of players. They have Ash from LAS Alliance as well. They have the old account of Croc as well. So look at that lineup. So 857, this account used to be Teddy Boy's account in DHX and now it is part of SSI. Then you have 7. This was the account of MK from Alliance Hell, but now this belongs to 7. And then you have EXXP. So EXXP is from I think region 120, and he jumps around a lot. Then you have Zero. He was from I believe DHX or Apex as well. He went to 159. So some of these. Then you have Tale 1008. He's from SKI Alliance. Then you have Bizijan from 216 Alliance. Then you have Bees. Bees is another incredibly strong player. So a lot of strong player. John, she was Dutchman. Dutchman was part of LM4S, but the brother ran away when he saw that he is to go up against SSI themselves. But it's okay. You win some, you lose some. But you should not leave the battlefield, bro. Sure, live to fight another day is also a great way to get the things done. But whatever, yeah. This is how things are. So, Mr. Kimochi, you're getting gangbanged. You got gangbanged. Wow. So another amazing sets of fights. So Boogie, all right, it is Boog. Mr. Boog is getting pooped upon, and you're using Tom in the battlefield. You could have chosen a snail who might have moved faster than the Tom, but choosing Tom to lead your squad, this is heartbreaking, bro. So once you see that you are going to die, if you keep on running, you will take even more damage. So the better option is to actually stay here, hit them, and fight. So that way your squad will die faster, but you will take less injuries. But if you keep running like this guy, you will take a lot more injured. So it is actually quite stupid to be running away instead of using your squad to stay. I don't understand why people do that. Look at SSI; they are everywhere. So many squads, and all of these whales are so strong that they can either siege, they can either rally, they can garrison, they can field fight. So their strength is unmatchable. But when they go up against ROK, the things become different. Then it is like a match of equals. So the particular mistake that I was watching our Legion make was like we were not united. By united, I mean we did not gather. If we gathered and then we started fighting, things would have been different because once the squads joined from behind into this fight, it becomes very difficult for them to deal damage because then they will start building up their rage first of all, and then they will unleash their skills. But for SSI, particularly for the Golden Legion, they were already inside the fight. So once they are inside the fight, their rage is already built up, and once they get one or two, or maybe more hits in, they immediately release their skills. And the moment their skills are released, most of these guys are using Louis Miyamoto, Mai Shiranui, the heroes which basically deal area of effect damage. So they deal a damage to a number of squads. So number of squads before even entering the battle, they are damaged. They face injuries, so their numbers are down, and they are not as effective in the battlefield. Like here, you can see this guy is standing. He's here for picnic, brother. If you want to picnic, you can go somewhere else. How can you leave your squad like that? It is a crime to leave your squad unattended in these top tiers. These guys are literal beasts. They're monsters and they will destroy you. Leaving your squad unattended for 30 seconds or 1 minute is pure stupidity. And when you're fighting, leaving them for even 5 seconds is pure stupidity. So you have to be really, really careful. Like this guy. Why are you AFK, bro? But this is how it is. So it wasn't just the bottom half of the map that was being raided by SSI. On the top half of the map, Alliance OU and whatever the Legion, Crimson Legion, yeah. So the Crimson Legion, they were also getting their fair share of different spankings, different beatings from SSI, and constantly they were being a problem for all the alliances, all the opponents all over the map. They were creating trouble. They were raiding. IC8. They also ended up joining them on all these fights. As you can see, even the strongest players of the Alliance OU, Sakir was there, Chase was there, even AK was there, then Mabo was there, even King was there. So even they had a tough time dealing with these guys, and none of them is like a weak player by any means. All of them are extremely powerful, extremely strong, incredibly strong players. And this was a back and forth battle. I do not know if whether even SSI, even if they sleep or not, because every time I log in, I see Jinzo online. Every time I log in, I see Chungha online. So these two, it seems either the account is being shared or someone else is using their account. But is it possible that a guy is awake 24 hours a day? I believe this is practically impossible. And for such a game, like this is a mobile based game, Android based game, you need rest. Like whenever you go online, these guys are online. And I'm not actually undermining them, but this is a theory that I believe the account probably has to be shared because it is not possible. Humanly, it is not possible. But then again, whatever it is, these guys were creating problem for both the legions all over the map, thanks to their incredible strength. They are incredibly strong. Like this is unbelievable. They were joined by Ash on a number of raids. They were joined by a leader of IC8 on a number of raids. Some of the strong players of IC8 as well. And it definitely seemed like people were swarming NTP instead of hitting normal players. So this is how strong these guys are. So the only likely outcome of these battles, as per my understanding, is that these guys are making their opponents consume their resources, their speed ups. They are filling up their hospitals so that on the final day they will not have to fight anyone else. And I have to appreciate these guys are they always put up a fight, a hell of a fight. And somehow, I've seen whenever these guys fight, they always target the snipers first. So the snipers are the first to go, then the riders, and at the last they target the infantry heroes. But the snipers are always the first ones to go. And even in these battles, what I think they do is either play on optimize low or on optimize off. Because once you play with optimize high. Because once you play with optimize off, you cannot actually target the squads correctly. It becomes quite difficult. Then you have to drag and drop. But once you are doing it with the optimized low, then it becomes quite easy to actually target because then you can see which hero you are hitting. So yeah, this was the story of the whole map. SSI, then they would go into the opponent's area, they would initiate a fight, then move back when after causing a lot of damage. And after causing a lot of damage, then they would return with fresh squads. So this is a very good play where Chivas he moved one of his squads on the bottom side to lure the squads away, and then now Jinzo is coming from the other side around. So look at this. So now they have made them split up into two parties. The stronger party is on the bottom side, the weaker party is on the top side. Now they have to go back and now target Jinzo. So this is the squads of 7 that are being raided down by OU. Now Chivas is joining from the backside. He will of course hit the weaker players, I think. Let's see where is Jinzo. So look at Jinzo. Now Jinzo alone is so strong that he's causing damage on the backside. So one thing about Jinzo that I've seen, he uses 3, sometimes 4 rider squads. This guy is nuts. Too strong. I think he has a level 24, maybe 25 on his vehicles already. Specifically for riders, I think. So once they were able to push back Jinzo, they were able to push back Ash, they were able to push back Changhe, 7, and then you can see Beast shows up. Then you have Chiwas who showed up. So like it is an endless cycle of players who would constantly raid up and down into their areas. Now he goes back and he targets the squads that are coming here. Meanwhile, the other party is swarming down the squads of bees. Incredible. So this is the story of the day. I hope you guys liked watching these fights. If you want me to add something, then I would love to add it. But this is how these fights are panning out. And let's see how this story unfolds in the next 2 or 3 days. So thank you for watching and have a good day, everyone.